Wreck-It Ralph was a fun and charming movie. It answered the question many of us had as very young children, where do the characters go when you turn off the game? And this time, Wreck-It Ralph will break the internet where the sum total of all human memory and nostalgia lives. That means Easter eggs. Let's find them. Before we begin, subscribe to CBR and ring that bell to join our notification squad so you never miss a video. Without further ado, here's some Wreck-It Ralph 2 trailer Easter eggs you may have missed.
I'm a princess too.
What kind of a princess are you?
Princess patented products. Cinderella. In the trailer, Vanellope asked the purple search bar to take her and Ralph to a website that's super intense and really nuts. So it was sort of a relief when that site turned out to be Disney's and not whatever you were thinking. It's an understandably easy way to revisit a lot of exciting characters without Disney having to buy the rights for them for just one film. And in typical Disney fashion, it looks like they're going to make this work. Case in point, the Disney princesses bit was pretty funny. In a recent publicity photo for the film, each one is wearing an article of clothing related to their adventures in the films they star in. At one point, Vanellope is hanging out with all the Disney princesses in the restricted area they hang out in. Cinderella has a picture of a pumpkin-shaped coach wagon on her sweater. It includes the acronym G2G, short for Gotta Go. She also has a cup that's a lot like the ones you can purchase in the Disney theme parks with a Cinderella castle all over it. I guess if you work for Disney or are part of Disney, you should at least get a discount on swag from the gift shop. Question is, does she ever get to live in her castle, or is she really just employed there? Who knows, but maybe that's part of the plot.
We can't understand her. She's from the other studio.
Song-themed princess PJs. Sometimes there's just that song, you know, the one everyone remembers. Let It Go was one of those. Years after Frozen came out, children are still obsessed with that song. It's so catchy and memorable, you just can't help but have it stuck in your head. So it's no surprise that there would be an Easter egg in the Wreck-It Ralph 2 teaser related to Elsa from Frozen and that song specifically. At one point while she's lying on the floor as they all get to know Vanellope, we can see Elsa wearing a blue long-sleeve shirt with "Just Let It Go" printed on the front of it. And of course her beverage of choice is a milkshake because, yeah, ice cream, get it? It's Frozen. Of course you get it. Elsa's one of the most memorable and cherished Disney princesses of the last decade, so we hope she has a really big role to play in this upcoming film. She's definitely the kind of princess who would want to be good friends with Vanellope.
So tell me what mortal needs my protection, great ancestor. You just say the word and I'm there.
Mulan's Mushu jacket. Mushu is Mulan's trusty animal sidekick in the Mulan films, voiced by Eddie Murphy. He's one of several guardian deities of Mulan's family ancestors. Having been disgraced by the other spirits and ancestral ghosts, he serves as a minor peon in the family temple, but when he's asked to awaken the mighty stone dragon that will protect Mulan, he breaks the stone dragon and must become Mulan's protector instead. So if any of us were Mulan, we'd also probably have an awesome jacket with our best dragon friend embroidered on the front. But there could be even more to this. Recall that in the 1998 original Mulan, Mushu is literally just a dragon-shaped decoration on a bronze incense burner. That's before he's brought to life by the ancestors, so the question is, might that literally be Mushu living on her jacket? We don't know what the central conflict of the movie will be just yet. Obviously, it involves Ralph breaking the internet by interfering in some toddler's tablet video game. At some point, there will be some antagonist, either a single ill-meaning character or several that Ralph and his friends will need to overcome. They could probably use Mushu on their side, so it would be awesome if that's literally Mushu, and doubly so if Eddie Murphy reprises his role.
I mean, it's crazy.
What?
We finish each other's
Sandwiches.
Anna's sandwich shirt. Let It Go wasn't the only great song from Frozen. There's also Love is an Open Door, the song that Anna sings with Hans. At one point, Hans sings, I mean, it's crazy, we finish each other's, and Anna interrupts with, sandwiches? That was a pretty funny gag for a very lighthearted song. Of course, if you know anything about the events in Frozen, spoilers, Hans wasn't finishing her sentences because of a genuine interest in Anna. He was manipulating her to seize the throne of the Kingdom of Arendelle and have both her and Elsa killed. So yeah, rewatching that musical number after knowing the whole plot, kinda eerie. But of course, it's therefore all the more hilarious that Anna has a picture of a sandwich on her shirt. That's a tough Easter egg to spot unless you know the film and remember that line. Way more obscure than Let It Go printed on Elsa's shirt or Cinderella's castle and coach-themed accessories and clothes.
Almost there. Almost there.
Tiana's cup and shirt. The Princess and the Frog was a fantastic film with a tragic history. It was basically Disney's last attempt at widely releasing a hand-drawn 2D animated film. It ended up performing well at the box office, but it was also hobbled by bad marketing. Sadly, a lot of moviegoers who might have liked the film avoided it because it had princess in the title. The thought was that people avoided it because they figured it was only for little girls and no one else. Obviously, Disney films are supposed to cater mostly to children, but as Walt Disney himself famously said, I don't make films for children, I make films that children aren't embarrassed to take their parents to. The Princess and the Frog would have been that kind have filmed for more people if they had gone to see it. But anyway, we're glad to see that Tiana is hanging out with the rest of the princesses. Her princess story is just as crazy as the others, so we're sure she has plenty of antidotes for Vanellope to learn what this whole princess thing is all about. And on her shirt is the crown logo from the movie. Plus, she's also drinking from a Starbucks-style cup with the Disney castle on it. That's some good marketing.
Like a treasure from a sunken pirate wreck.
Moana's song preference. Moana is another recent Disney princess film with some memorable songs that includes the amazing rhythm and melodic composition of the song Shiny. What a masterpiece composed no less by a master, Lin-Manuel Miranda, writer and composer of the Broadway hit Hamilton. According to Miranda, the song was inspired by the Flight of the Conchords tribute to David Bowie at the Aspen Comedy Film Festival in 2004. But this song is not comedic. It's sung by one of the bad guys, the giant greedy coconut crab Tamatoa. So it's interesting to see that she has the word shiny emblazoned on her shirt. I guess if you own it, it can't hurt you. Like on a sandwich shirt, it's a reference to a moment Moana had with one of the antagonists in the film. What's nice about all this is that our princesses are beyond giving a you-know-what. Their cynicism and worldliness about being a princess is what makes the whole princess hangout room gag funny. It's tempting to overdo it, which is why a lot of these Easter eggs are subtle and hopefully the characters won't necessarily reference them all the time. Including them as fun background Easter eggs to pick up can be done quietly. Qbert. One of the old-fashioned video games that appeared in the first film was Qbert, a simple but challenging arcade game, and when we say old-fashioned, the game came out in 1982 when video games were really just starting out. In the game, Qbert starts at the top of a pyramid of blocks. The goal is to get Qbert to change all the blocks to a specific target color for that level. As the levels progress, enemies who get in your way slowly begin to appear on the pyramid with you. It's a fun game and the orange character Qbert is part of the fun. He's just a ball with 2 legs, a tube for a mouth, and very expressive eyes, which is a good thing because his mouth is just a tube. Well, we very briefly see Qbert again along with the sorceress who appears in the first film. Critically, we see Qbert inside the power strip where all the video game characters hang out in the first film. So what will happen to Qbert in the second film? Will he have any role to play? Perhaps some blocks will need color changing at some point. Who knows?
It's like it's looking into my soul.
That frying pan. Gamers know that in each game, especially first-person shooters or RPG, there's that item. That one item that everyone's got to have. In Halo, it's the pistol, which is even better than any of the big guns you can find. In PlayerUnknown Battleground, that item is a frying pan. Yeah, for those of you who don't play the game, one of the most useful items is a bulletproof frying pan. It can block sniper bullets, which is really important in the game. That's why the official PUBG wiki calls the frying pan the best item in the game, and any fan of the game will tell you that that is true. Well, that frying pan shows up briefly on a screen behind Ralph during his visit to the internet. We can see its stats and everything. It's an amazing Easter egg for video game fans. This film really has something for everyone.
Hey.
The Easter egg money shot. Disney owns a lot of intellectual property. Based on this film, they want us to know that. It doesn't stop at their totally massive portfolio of characters developed by generations of Disney animators. No, they also own Marvel and Star Wars now, which means elements of both universes are seamlessly integrated into that world. We know that stormtroopers are working security at Disney, which is pretty funny, but when Ralph and Vanellope first arrive on Disney's online world, they're presented with a huge establishing shot of just about every Disney thing under the sun. Or should I say under the sea. Iron Man, the Millennium Falcon, there's so much going on, but the best part is staring you right in the face. At the top of that huge Disney cone is Mickey Mouse from Fantasia. He's dressed in the sorcerer's robe and hat that he wore during the Sorcerer's Apprentice. It's a part of Fantasia where Mickey, apprentice to the great sorcerer, enchants a broomstick to fill up a big basin of water for him. But the broomstick won't stop filling it and ends up flooding the sorcerer's study. It's one of the most iconic Disney moments, and it's fitting that it's added at the center of the frame, but it's also an older film, less relevant to younger generations. Still, it's probably why Mickey's so small.
We are online.
The old computer. When the owner of the video arcade puts everything online, he sends Ralph and Vanellope into the internet. But take a look at the computer. That's an iMac from the early 2000s, before LCD screens. We see him boot up a really old-looking internet icon that kinda looks like Netscape. It was around that era when game emulators for computers first came into their own. Multiplayer games like Age of Empires, StarCraft, and Quake already had online multiplayer functionality, but it was during the years that the first colored iMacs came out that emulators first emerged and let you play classic console and arcade games on your computer. Makers of emulators had to reverse engineer console systems in the game code in order for them to be able to be played on computers. So even though this film takes place at a time where babies play games on tablets, the colored iMac represents a nostalgic throwback to the time when classic video games like the fictional Wreck-It Wreck-It Ralph went online for the first time.
Shouldn't it be Ralph Wrecks the Internet?
Yeah, since he is Wreck-It Ralph.
And there you have it. What's your favorite Easter egg from the Wreck-It Ralph 2 teaser? Are there any we may have missed? Let us know in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe to CBR for more videos like this one. Thanks for watching.